looking back, so what has become in the year 2020, data or information has become the most critical asset for any business, right? So especially now people working from remote and accessing information from whatever device they have, whatever applications that they have installed, right? So we knew about zero trust for some time. So what it actually means, say, go back 20, 30 years, you always had information systems, you had technology to go consume information, consume data, used all these applications. The model there was you sort of had some perimeter, right? So and when people came inside the perimeter, they carried some implicit trust to do whatever they want. I am an executive in the company. Once I walk into the office, the entitlement I have, the privileges I have to do actions, nobody questions anymore. I can do whatever I want, right? So this philosophy is you are trusting everybody implicitly, right? Trust by default, verification only when something goes wrong, right? So this was the model we all followed. It is not easy to change this model for a variety of reasons. One, you have to change technology in all the applications. And number two, if you're going to tell an executive or a very senior employee in the company, I'm not going to trust you anymore, right? So they don't take it very easily. But this pandemic has given security executives an opportunity where you can go and flip the model and call it zero trust. What zero trust means is no matter who you are, you could be the CEO, you could be the owner of the business, to somebody who joined the business just today. It doesn't matter who you are in the organization. At every point of your access to information or doing a task, you will be explicitly authenticated every time you have access to an information or want to carry out a transaction. Zero trust is there is absolutely no trust implicitly unless you continue proving it every time you have to do an action, right? So now, because people work from wherever they are and again use whatever device they have, so it is easy to change the model. Tell people saying we no longer can. This is what, when I talk to customers, the CSOs, CISOs, they know the importance of zero trust model, but they are not able to move to that model because they are not able to sell the concept to people. Now is a good time, right? So the pandemic has taught us a lot of good things, right? Of personal hygiene to how we deal with situations. And this is something that companies can take advantage of and adopt to a zero trust security model. In plain simple words, never trust, always verify, right? So that is the zero trust model that companies should be looking at and moving towards. So there are at least three important aspects to it, three important themes that we are working on. Number one is making sure everything is working from remote. You can actually, you are talking about remote people connecting from wherever they are, connecting virtually and all of that. Think about it, last 20, 30 years, we have done cloud email, right? Last 10 years, we have had instant messaging. So working from anywhere is not a new concept, but imagine having privileged access to sensitive information inside your company. That was not something very common, right? So you had to have technology like VPN, and even that was not opened for every employee. It was maybe for 5 people, 10 people, or with a very strict authorization policy. Now that is changing. So one important factor for every company is allowing this access to sensitive information, privileged information to every employee, like we talked about zero trust. How do you enable that with zero trust is something we are working on in Managing. We already have some tools that our customers can use to enable this remote access. I could be a database administrator sitting at home. I need access to a database sitting in a cloud data center. How do I do that, right? So previously it was not possible. Now we make it possible with a click of a button. You get access, not just access, secure access with layers of security built in. So that is number one. Number two, along with this access goes the device that your employees use, right? So they could be using the corporate device. Sometimes they could be using their own personal device. They could be traveling and like working on borrowed device. So the endpoint device management and endpoint device security becomes extremely important as we move towards this hybrid model. So both the user and the device they use become very important. You have to look at them as like one piece. You cannot see user separately and device separately. So we again are solving this problem for our customers. We have a endpoint management and endpoint security suite that will manage the end-to-end of every endpoint you have, like tablet, your mobile phones, your laptops, your kiosk, your browsers, all of that. And the third important theme is enabling self-service. This again for users, right? So they have a lot of questions, a lot of assistance that they need. Previously, they will be walking up to people, they'll be making a call. Now, you have to make your systems and applications smart and self-sufficient. So even when user has any doubt, you have an intelligent assistant popping up and helping them out with whatever they want. And again, it doesn't stop with users. You have to put this intelligence, move this intelligence to every endpoint, because we will talk about phishing attacks, we talk about ransom attacks. All these people, your employees, are going to get these attacks all the time. Phishing attack is very simple. Like you are duped into clicking a link. At the time of them clicking a link, your device should have the intelligence to tell them this could possibly be a phishing link, right? So how do you make your devices more intelligent? We are investing in artificial intelligence and machine learning, so to make it possible.